this is a short introduction for each other. There will be
yes.
a set of some interview questions. Like it's like knowing each other.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, first two I will ask, and the remaining, because just to get an opportunity for everybody to interact with you, so my team also interact. In between, in case my battery goes down, I may not be able to continue in the entire call because I'm traveling right now.
No problem.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, Rana, actually, I saw your profile and my eyes licked up on your Ashoka Fellow, because I know Ashoka.
Yes.
It's not me to get a panel, and there are a few other fellowships, because I know more about Ashoka Fellow and the credibility of Ashoka Fellow. Along with that, there are many fellowships you're able to achieve being an academician. So what passion, and if you can brief what made you to see that, and on what kind of a fellowship right now? You already finished right now? Your fellowship is done? You are still in the process of fellowship. So those things,
for the Ashoka, okay.
That will be great help, because these are the things which will really help us to learn lessons from you. You can just brief about yourself.
Okay. So if I understood you correct, I'm going to introduce myself and then talk a little bit about how I achieved what I achieved.
Yes.
All right. So first of all, when I like to introduce myself, I like to say that I'm a mother. I have 4 children, and I'm an educator. So I was a school teacher for 10 years, and now I'm a university professor. And to me, those 2 roles are the most important roles any human being can play, because all our goal is to bring up a healthy generation to take care of the future. And it's the parents and the teachers who are molding and shaping the minds and personalities of the children going forward. So all my respect to the parents and the teachers all over the world. Now, I'm also a scientist. I study epigenetics of trauma, meaning how does the environment, in this case trauma, shape your, turn on and off your genes in your body, and how can you manage that? Is it transferred across generations, and so on? And when I talk about these different roles, mother, educator, scientist, I talk about the roles that I play. People talk about hats when they talk about roles. I talk about scarves. I wear a scarf. So actually I have 5 scarves: the mother, the teacher, the scientist, and I'm a social innovator. And that's how I'm an Ashoka Fellow, and a Schwab Fellow, and a Skull Fellow. And what I did is I started a program called We Love Reading. And this is a program who works on changing mindsets through reading to nurture change makers. And this is a program, something I started in my neighborhood in 2006, and now it's in 71 countries around the world. And then and the 5th scarf is that I'm an activist. So I defend and work and advocate for oppression, against oppression, against oppression. And especially now, because of Palestine, I'm from Jerusalem, I'm Palestinian. And so to me, this is the most important thing today. And if we can solve the Palestinian problem, we will solve many problems around the world, because they're all the same. It's a manifestation of colonization, imperialism in different forms and shapes that we need to work together across the world to stop. So that's what I do. Now, in terms of my Ashoka Fellowship is for life. It's not like it doesn't end. You're just a fellow, to answer that question. But to me, all these fellowships, all these awards and accolades, really, they're not important, believe me. What really matters is for you to think what bothers you in your life, and to think, I can solve that problem. I don't have to wait for a government or somebody to come and solve it for me. I have the capacity, I have the brains, I have the knowledge, I live in this community, I know where the problem comes from, and I know where the solution should start. And we have a saying in Islam, everyone is a guardian, right? Like Gandhi, be the change you want to see in the world. So it's about me thinking, what can I do? So that's number 1. Don't look about people, what the funder needs, what the fellowship needs. No, just think, what do I care about as a human being? Second, when you think, okay, I'm going to do this, oh my God, it's too big, overwhelming, I'm never going to change it, it's too complicated. Don't think that way. Just think, what can you do today, right? Today, what can you do? Whether it's opening a door or, I don't know, fixing something you can do, and just start doing it. Yeah, start doing it. And it's very small, but you can do it. So do it. And those little changes, don't underestimate them. We have another saying in Islam, do not belittle any good deed. And in science, we have a a physics theory called the chaos theory, which says when a butterfly flutters its wings, how much does it move the air? Centimeter. But there's a hurricane beyond time and space that will happen because of that little change. So you start small, you do what you think is important, what makes you sleep better, and that small thing will change the world. So those are the two things that kind of shape what I do. And the third one is I follow my curiosity, right? I don't do things because I want to impress someone. I do it because it interests me. And if sometimes in my work I get distracted and I get bogged down by administration work or bureaucracy, I think, wait, Rana, wait, why am I doing this? And to rekindle that curiosity inside me, to follow that, then I'm back sincere, true, and things will work. So those are maybe the three lessons that I would share, got me where I am. And remember, success is not in fellowships and awards. Success is feeling you did what is right in your eyes. And then you can tell your grandchildren that you did the right thing.
Thank you for sharing. Wonderful insight.
That really energized the entire thing. Like one thing I really like is about you. Whenever you get bored, and you always tell what your advice. Like, what energizes to that. I think everybody should practice that. Not that, systems surrounding people should disturb us. And small little things, what we can do, makes a lot of difference. I think that's also a great lesson I've taken up personally. And thank you so much. And the way you articulated, the way you put across, very short and very organized way. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hi, Rana. Hi,
Hello.
this is Hannah. Yeah, I'm the client relationship manager from Edsta Society. So it's been very inspiring journey. You're being a multitasking mother and doing multitasking things. It's really inspires us. So I just wanted to go ahead with the question like, can you explain your work on how trauma affects refugees at the genetic level? What important discoveries have you made?
Okay, so we have been able to show that trauma can actually shift some genes to either turn them on or off. We don't know exactly, but we know there's a change. It doesn't change the DNA sequence, it just turns them on or off. And we know that to a second and third generation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what does that mean? Again, because the genes we have identified, we don't know what they do. We don't know if this is positive or negative. And this kind of led us to hypothesize that it's not about positive or negative. This is a very Western way of looking at the world. 0-1, black, white. It's more about that we are very fluid organisms. And therefore, when we are exposed to anything around us, we deal with it by becoming more flexible, more agile. And so this gives us a better capacity to deal with ambiguity and uncertainty, which gives us an edge in surviving and flourishing and thriving in the future. So this is what we've discovered and how we've connected it to our work. And so what are the ways to increase us being comfortable with ambiguity and to look at the world through that lens will help us survive better as a species.
That's really a prompt answer, and that's really very nice. And how have the stem cells law you've helped introduce effective scientific research and healthcare?
So the stem cell law that I helped create in Jordan in 2014 helped regulate, first of all, the research so that we know what we can do and what we can't ethically. And because the majority are Muslims in Jordan, we are able to work with human embryonic stem cells beyond, up to 14 days and even more. And so this will allow more research to understand biological mechanisms so that we can understand disorders, but also it regulates therapy because also you don't want anyone to use stem cells without it being regulated to ensure the protection of the patient. And so this kind of gives a legal framework to protect the patient and help the physician to adhere by those guidelines and to regulate any therapy that's happening and not just pick up any therapy from around the world that may not be regulated.
That's really interesting. And as the president of the Society for the Advancement of Science and Technology in the Arab world, what projects are you focusing on now, presently?
Yeah, so I was president until December. I'm no longer president. There's a 3-year thing. So I can just tell you what we focused on earlier, and I'm sure they're continuing with the same objectives, which is how can we connect the global network of diaspora in general. So SASTA, the acronym of the society, has been leading the whole world in terms of how do you harness the global diaspora to give back and help support and advance their own countries. So whether it's the Arab diaspora, the Indian diaspora, the Georgian diaspora, the Brazilian diaspora, it doesn't matter. And so the most important thing is to provide channels of connection between especially young students, young scientists in their home countries with the diaspora to act like mentors, collaborators, to help advance science in their home countries. And more importantly, not to focus on the formal, building formal channels. It's more about the informal channels that eventually will lead to formal. Sometimes we do it the other way around. We think, oh, we have to sign an MOU. We have to do a contract. And a lot of people sign things, but nothing happens. No, it's about the people. It's always about the people. Find the connection between people, then the formal stuff will happen later.
Okay, that's really interesting. And Tanushree will go ahead with the further questions.
I'm the operation manager with ESTA. So it was a really great journey to hear about you and your work, tremendous work which you have been taking forward, and in the days to come we look forward to hear from you more ahead. So I would like to know how do you see the future of scientific research and collaboration in developing countries in this field of epigenetics, what you are already doing?
So I think research is important in general because it helps us become critical thinkers in general for life. So in developing countries, this is part of how they can advance and actually catch up with research and development, because most of the research is already advanced in more advanced countries. However, I think like the field of technology, the field of digital and IT offers an edge to developing countries to catch up and actually maybe excel, because it doesn't need the lab work that other fields would require, like molecular biology or physics with colliders and things like that. So there is an opportunity to advance. That's number one. Number two, you have research that's very abstract and theoretical, but you also have research that's practical. And in developing countries, there's a lot of challenges that we face, whether it's to do with water, poverty, food, nutrition, and things like that. And those would require local researchers to work with local community to come up with local solutions. And that can only be done within the developing country. And so what I see is that in that case, local researchers should step in and take the lead and not wait or assume that the scientists coming from outside would know what to do. No, you as a local person, a local scientist, know better than anyone else in the world what to do. And working with local community, you can come up with solutions and you can do research on them to learn how they work and how to make them work better.
Yeah.
And in that way, you would be advancing science, but also you would be solving a lot of the sustainable development goals through that local community action.
Thank you for sharing. As you rightly said, the local community matters. And in these days, as you said, in developing countries, people do tend to go abroad for doing the research. But in the local community, when they serve, it's very helpful in having these sustainable development goals very well put. Thank you. Can you share some success stories from your mentoring program for women in STEM technology? Anything into women?
The mentoring program I started, it's not just for stem cell technology, it's mentoring female scientists in general. And we called it 3 circles of alimat. Alimat in Arabic means female scientists. So in our heritage and culture, there are female scientists, contrary to the Western attitude, how they perceive or the stereotype that's in the media. Actually, in the Arab world, the percentage of females in science is higher than Europe and America. So maybe they can learn from us. So that's one lesson. So in terms of the mentoring program I developed so that women don't stay around and have coffee inside the university. They want to go home. They want to be with their children, not because they have to, but they want to, right? They want to be with their child when they take the first step, or take them to school, or when they're sick. So then when do they have the time to discuss and talk and share ideas? So the mentoring program starts with a kind of speed dating where women meet, and then they kind of speed date, they choose their partners, and then they decide on how to interact over the next year. And some of those success stories is that, first of all, realizing that mentoring does not mean I'm going to get you a grant, I'm going to help you publish a paper. It's more about helping you navigate your choices in your personal and professional career. And that doesn't necessarily mean that the one who's mentoring is senior to the one who is being mentored. So we have success stories where, for example, the mentor was a younger woman, and she was helping mentoring an older woman who just got pregnant as a scientist and was trying to figure out how to navigate being a mom, an early mom, and work. So that worked out very nicely. In many cases, it was about encouraging how to navigate balancing writing grants, publishing papers, how to set your priorities in life, how to deal with administration, when to make the decision to become an administrator or to focus on your research. So those are some of the things that were dealt with. And we published 2 papers on our research, which you can access online as well.
All right.
Rana, actually, it was really an inspiring journey what you have. What I would like to ask is how do we see future collaboration? How, since you're already doing in multiple countries, whatever you're doing, we also have some similar thoughts, doing good for the nation, doing good for the country and citizens, and also working towards the sustainable development goals. So looking at initially to start with mentorship and also to the coaching people, and also whatever you're doing, if allow some places wherever we can replicate. So our services, and you can replicate your service. We want to replicate your services. How do you see that in the future collaboration?
Yeah, absolutely. So we love reading. The whole vision is that we as an organization become smaller because other partners are taking it and running with it. And to make that easy, the whole program now is a training program. It's online. It's free. It's very simple. It's very low tech, low internet, low digital needs. And then so anyone can take the training, and it's in multiple languages. And we have a documentary movie that goes with it that's also been given away for free. So any organization like yours can partner with us. They sign an MOU, and then you take the movie, the training, and you disseminate it within your own society, community. And I think there's also the movie and the training is in Urdu and Hindi. And if it's not, we can add that language. It's very easy. And then you take it, disseminate it as much as you want, and take all the credit, because to us it's about sharing how we can all grow together.
Great. Thanks for so much generous. And even we wanted to carry out some of the things what we are doing here, and that we also want to explore. Our team will correspond, and they will inform the main things you have already expressed, and how we can, and how you are open for collaboration. I'm so happy you are. I can say one thing without any hesitation. You are the first person I can say willing to share the knowledge, share the resources, share the everything that for the goods of society to grow, society to prosper, society to be a part of growth. Great. Thank you very much. Continue what your good work you're doing. May God bless you, give you a good strength to make you a blessing to the world.
Thank you, inshallah, and thank you for all your efforts, and very nice to meet you all and meet the team, and together we will change the world, inshallah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.